So more breaking news this morning from Starbucks. The company plans to lay off 1,100 corporate employees around the world.
Let's get one thing straight. Starbucks isn't just selling you coffee, they're selling you a carefully manufactured fantasy. The warm lighting, the indie playlists, the barista scribbling your name, usually wrong, on a cup like they're crafting a potion just for you. It all feels intentional, because it is. And while you sip that $7 latte and convince yourself it's a little daily treat, Starbucks is pulling off one of the greatest business sleights of hand in modern history. This isn't a coffee shop, it's a psychology lab. And you're the experiment. Let's break it down. That $6.95 latte you're holding? It contains about $1.10 worth of ingredients. That's it. 65 cents of coffee, 30 cents of milk, and maybe 15 cents of flavoring. The rest? That goes toward rent, lighting, corporate bonuses, and a massive marketing machine designed to make you believe this isn't just caffeine. It's self-care, identity, community, a status symbol in a paper cup. And it works. Because our brains don't see $6.95 as $7. It registers as 6 something. Just like why a used car is always priced at $9,999 instead of $10,000. You know it's marketing psychology. They know you know, and they still do it because it still works. Now let's talk sugar. That innocent-looking Grande Vanilla Frappuccino, it packs 68 grams of sugar. That's more than 2 Snickers bars or 16 sugar cubes. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 grams of sugar per day for women and 36 for men. This one drink nukes that limit, and then some. But we don't question it because Starbucks calls it coffee, not a milkshake, not dessert, coffee, a functional beverage, right? Here's the twist. Most of these drinks contain just a single shot of espresso. The rest? Milk, syrup, cream, whipped topping, caramel drizzle. It's a sugar tsunami with a caffeine whisper. And that's where the crash comes in. Blood sugar spikes, then tanks. That productivity boost you were chasing, gone in 90 minutes. Studies show nearly half of sugary coffee drinkers feel more tired 3 hours after drinking it than before. But hey, it tastes good, right? Of course it does. That's the point. Starbucks mastered the art of calling dessert coffee, charging a premium, and making you feel like you're treating yourself. Meanwhile, your energy's crashing, your wallet's lighter, and you're already thinking about the next one. And while we're talking about what's in your cup, let's talk about the cup itself. Those iconic white paper cups with the green mermaid, they look recyclable. They feel recyclable. But surprise, they're not. Over 4 billion of those cups are thrown away every year, enough to wrap around the earth 11 times. Why? Because they're lined with a thin layer of plastic to prevent leaks. And that plastic makes them nearly impossible to recycle in standard facilities. Less than 1% actually get recycled. The rest? Landfills, where they take 20 years to decompose. And Starbucks knows this. But instead of overhauling their cup game, they offer you a 10-cent discount for bringing your own. 1 dime for a $7 drink. That's like tipping someone with lint. And how many people actually use reusable cups? About 1.6%. That's it. The rest of us? We're sipping coffee and tossing cups like it's no big deal. Multiply that by millions of daily customers. It's a planet-sized issue that gets buried under seasonal promotions. Speaking of promotions, the next time you walk into a Starbucks and see a sign that says, "Our goal is to reduce waste by 30% by 2030, remember this. Cup production is increasing 5% per year. The math doesn't add up. The message sounds good. But the result? Billions of cups still being made, sold, and trashed. While you're told you're part of the solution. This is what Starbucks does best. They package indulgence as necessity, disguise dessert as coffee, and turn eco-conscious language into a performance, all while pulling more money from your wallet and more energy from your body. Let's talk about loyalty. Because at Starbucks, loyalty doesn't mean what you think it means. You probably imagine it's about getting rewarded for being a good customer. You spend, you earn, you redeem, fair and square, right? Wrong. What Starbucks built isn't a reward system. It's a behavioral experiment with whipped cream on top. Let's start with the numbers. That free drink after 12 purchases? It's gone. Today, you'll need 25 stars just for a plain coffee, and up to 200 for something more elaborate. And how do you earn those stars? One or two at a time unless you spend more or jump through app-based hoops. The new rules mean most people are spending $35 or more to get a free drink that's worth maybe $4. And yes, the program has been enhanced 3 times in 5 years. Each time, rewards shrink and requirements rise. But here's the genius of it. People still chase the stars. Because it doesn't feel like money. It feels like progress, like a game. Welcome to Starbucks gamification. Every tap of that app, every mobile order, every personalized notification, it's designed to train you, not reward you. You'll get a ping on Monday. Earn 70 bonus stars when you visit 5 times this week. Translation? Spend $35 to get $2.80 worth of perks. And people still go for it. Because now it's not just about coffee, it's about completing a mission. This is how casinos work. Slot machines flash and ding, not because they increase winnings, but because they increase playtime. Starbucks doesn't give you free drinks. They give you the illusion of reward. And that illusion is powerful. Members of the loyalty program spend 125% more than non-members. They visit 40% more often. They're also more likely to upgrade sizes, even when they don't really want to. And why? Because the app said you're close to your next star boost. Just one more visit. Just 2 more pumps. You're not buying coffee. You're chasing digital dopamine. And while we're on the subject of chasing, how about those wait times? Remember when drive-thrus were the fastest option? In 2010, the average wait at a coffee drive-thru was 4 minutes. In 2023, over 8 minutes and 12 seconds. That's double the time for the same drink. So what changed? Mobile ordering. Sounds like a solution, right? Wrong again. Mobile orders now flood each store with a third stream of chaos. Alongside walk-ins and drive-thrus, many locations receive over 120 mobile orders during morning rush hour alone. That's on top of the people in line and the cars circling the block. But here's the kicker. The system isn't first come, first served. If you're in the drive-thru and someone with gold status places a mobile order from their car in the parking lot, their drink might be made before yours, even if you ordered 5 minutes earlier. It's called order prioritization, and it's designed to reward app engagement, not patience. Baristas call it the rush hour bottleneck. 3 queues, 2 blenders, 1 espresso machine, 0 sanity. Stores were never designed to serve 3 customer streams at once. But the app increased sales by 30%. So corporate isn't changing a thing. Here's a wild stat. After 3 minutes in line, 95% of customers will stay, even if wait times increase. That's called the queue commitment threshold. Starbucks knows this. So longer waits equals higher volume equals more money. You suffer, they profit. And while you wait, you get bombarded with seasonal hype. Enter the pumpkin spice latte, Starbucks' nuclear weapon of seasonal marketing. Introduced in 2003, it now generates over $500 million a year. But did you know that until 2015, It didn't even contain pumpkin, just spices and syrup, and still, people lined up like it was an annual pilgrimage. Why? Two words: artificial scarcity. Starbucks limits PSL season to 3 months, and that time limit makes people panic buy. It's the same logic that made people hoard toilet paper in 2020. If it's limited, we want it more. Sales during PSL season spike 37%. People drive hours for one. Some pay $60 for black market syrup, not because it tastes better, but because it's temporarily exclusive. It's not coffee, it's a seasonal identity, a branded ritual, and we fall for it every single year. In blind taste tests, people rated the same drink 24% higher when it was served in a Starbucks cup. That's the power of branding. Put a fancy name on hot sugar milk, and suddenly it's a lifestyle. So you've paid your $7, earned a few stars, waited twice as long as you used to, and now you've got your drink in hand. But let's take a step back from the marketing glow and look behind the counter. Because the people making your caramel swirl PSL aren't exactly living the dream. The average Starbucks barista earns around $13 an hour, while the company brings in over $3.3 billion in annual profit. A single store can generate $700,000 or more per year. Yet a full-time barista might take home $27,000 before taxes, if they even get full-time hours. And that's a big if. To qualify for benefits, you need to work at least 20 hours a week. So what do some stores do? They schedule employees for 19.5 hours. Coincidence? Not exactly. Add in shift changes with less than 24 hours notice, unpredictable schedules, and customers who think the phrase "no whip" is a legally binding contract. And you've got a burnout factory in full swing. Turnover rates at some locations reach 100% annually. That means the entire staff quits and is replaced every single year. And these are the people expected to keep up with mobile orders, drive-through traffic, in-store queues, and seasonal drink madness, sometimes making 8 drinks per minute during rush hour. Let's talk about the misspelled names for a second. Ever wonder why your Jessica became Jessica? It's not always a mistake. Some internal training documents have reportedly encouraged creative spelling as a way to personalize the experience and trigger free social media marketing. Because when you post that cup on Instagram to laugh at your new name, Starbucks wins again. And while we're on what's really in your drink, let's address one of the wildest facts of all. You may be drinking bugs. Yep, until 2012, Starbucks used cochineal extract, a red food dye made by crushing tiny beetles, in their strawberry frappuccinos and other pinker drinks. It's a real thing. Cochineal bugs are harvested, dried, ground up, and turned into carmine dye. It's FDA approved, widely used in the food industry, and totally legal, but totally gross. After public backlash, because no one wants to start their day with insect smoothies, Starbucks pledged to switch to lycopene, a tomato-based alternative. But it took a wave of consumer outrage to make that change. And the fact that it happened in the first place says everything about what goes into your cup and how little you're told about it. And let's be honest, the ingredient list still isn't winning any awards for purity. Think ordering almond milk makes your drink healthy? Think again. Most commercial almond milk is just water, sugar, and additives, with maybe 2% almonds if you're lucky. It's like calling a puddle a lake because someone tossed in a stone. Want oat milk instead? That'll be 75 cents extra, even though oat milk costs less to produce than cow's milk. Why? Because Starbucks can charge it. That upcharge generates over $200 million a year. And those plant-based breakfast sandwiches? The one with the faux sausage and egg? It has 30 fewer calories than the regular one, and 15 more unpronounceable ingredients. So you're not getting health, you're getting PR. Even drinks labeled light or skinny come loaded with artificial sweeteners, which fuel cravings and metabolic confusion. And if you think decaf means zero caffeine, think again. A 16-ounce decaf at Starbucks can still have up to 30 milligrams of caffeine, almost half a can of Coke. Drink 2 or 3, and you're right back in dependency land. Oh, and about that caffeine dependency, it's not just real, it's engineered. Starbucks dark roasts contain 22% more caffeine than competing brands. They know you're tired, they want you wired, and then crashing, and then coming back. Because at the end of the day, it's not about quality, it's about consistency, branding, and repeat business. You don't need to like the taste, you just need the fix. Let's do the math. If you grab a $7 Starbucks drink 5 times a week, that's $35 a week. Over a year, you're spending $1,820 on coffee. Not rent, not groceries, not a weekend getaway, not even great coffee. Just the same sweetened milk-based caffeine bomb in a paper cup you toss before lunch. Now think about what that money could actually buy you. A round-trip flight to Europe, a brand new laptop, a month's worth of groceries, or, for some people, a month's rent. Starbucks doesn't just eat into your wallet, it eats into your future. One overpriced habit at a time. And it's not just about the money, it's about what you're really getting for it. Because when you strip away the green logo, the caramel drizzle, the seasonal hype, the bonus stars, and the music that makes you feel like you're in a rom-com, what's actually left in your cup? 65 cents worth of ingredients. That's it. That's the truth behind the foam. You're not buying quality. You're buying the idea of indulgence. A caffeine ritual that's been engineered to feel like luxury, even though it's mass-produced sugar with a fancy name and a gold star slapped on top. At Frugal Pro, we believe smart spending isn't about skipping the things you love. It's about knowing what you're actually paying for. And whether it's Starbucks, Walmart, or anywhere else, the rule is simple. If it looks like a treat but drains your bank account and your energy, it's not a reward, it's a trap. So, the next time you find yourself standing in line, wondering if you should treat yourself, ask this instead. Would I still want this if it didn't come with foam hearts and loyalty stars? If the answer's no, congratulations. You just saved $7 and took one step closer to spending smarter. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button, drop your never again order in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed to Frugal Pro, where we call out the nonsense, break down the truth, and help you keep more money in your pocket. Until next time, stay sharp, spend smart, and don't get frothed into overspending.